Hey, what's going on? What's going on? It is day number 37. We are pushing through, doing our 90-day sprint. I'm Jay Moore, your healthy accountant, and I want to welcome you to today's Enlightenment broadcast. And guys, we're going to jump right into the topic. And the topic today is what's inside an entrepreneur? What's inside an entrepreneur? And I was sitting here thinking of the character of a person that's an entrepreneur. And, one of the first words that came to my mind was consistency. Consistency is an interesting thing because a lot of times I hear people say, man, I want to become more consistent at something. And then I ask the follow-up question, well, why aren't you being consistent today? And usually they say things like, well, I don't know. That's usually what they say. I don't know. And then it's like, well, if you are in business and you're not doing something, or you're not even trying to find what it is that you need, then what are you doing? So as I was thinking about an entrepreneur and someone who well, not just any entrepreneur, someone that's probably successful doing it, I had to look up a couple of people. So there's a couple of people that I got some information from. The first is Jay Abraham. Jay Abraham is one of the best marketers on the planet. He's done so many things. I got a book on my cover. It's I think it's getting everything out of everything you've got. And Jay Abraham has an excellent program that I listened to, and I wrote down some notes. And he gave some elements of an entrepreneur. And so here's what's inside an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur, number one, looks for opportunities. So just think about it. If you are seeking to be an entrepreneur, if you are an entrepreneur today, then that means that when you wake up in the morning and you're doing your things, you've got your eyes open. You're constantly looking for new opportunities. And new opportunities typically come when you're not really paying attention, or they could come in different ways that you're probably like, man, wait a second, that just showed up. It was kind of like an opportunity where I found this cheesecake thing, where we start selling cheesecake. And I was like, man, that's an opportunity, because as I can see it, people love cheesecake. Man, if we can figure out a way to get these cheesecakes into the market and sell, hundreds to thousands of them and get a little piece of it, net income, man, we can have a great business. That's an opportunity. I saw that opportunity come right in front of me. Then I saw another opportunity. Another opportunity was, man, you know what? I drive around my area where I live in Southern Maryland, and what I see is that, yeah, they got food choices. The food choices are just normal chains. They don't even have places like, if you're living in the DC area, you may be familiar with Sweetgreen. So they don't have any place like that in our area. And I said, man, what if I could bring something to the area like this? That's an opportunity. So I'm seeing that opportunities are available. Now the thing is to just kind of go for it, start doing something towards it. Number two, an entrepreneur is very flexible. That means you're not rigid. That means you're not constantly having to do things one way. You're willing to change. I've got to note, a lot of business owners that are struggling and that are not doing well, they typically have a problem changing. They typically want to do things the way they always done them. And a lot of times you say, I want to do things the way I always done them, means that you want to keep messing up. You don't want to make any more money, or you don't want to change the trajectory of where you're going. You got to be flexible. And so that's what Jay Abraham is talking about here. Number three, an entrepreneur is biased towards action. That means an entrepreneur don't want to sit around and talk. They're like, okay, let's get moving. What do we have to do right now? And what happens is, and look, I've done it, I'm sure you've done it, sometimes you kind of ponder and just kind of think over things longer than you need to. That means that you need to come up with something and then decide to move right now, or just forget it. So bias toward action, that's number three. Number four, an entrepreneur Marketing is the life force of their business. Think about that. What is marketing? Marketing is an awareness where you're constantly putting out what people should know about you, what people should know about your product, what people should know about your business. So marketing is something that they're constantly doing. They're constantly developing. They're constantly tweaking. They're constantly testing different ways that they could get their information out into the marketplace. So that's number 4. Number 5, entrepreneurs are living in the present. That means what happens is they set out a goal, which the goal is going to be out in the future, but then they live in the present to produce the goal. Because you cannot move to tomorrow without going through today. That's found in Matthew 6:34. That right after Jesus said, "Seek first the kingdom of God and everything will be added to you." Then he says, don't worry about tomorrow because tomorrow has its own problems. Focus on what's happening today. So guys, you want to live for the present. Number 6 is you've got to be tenacious. Tenacious, you know what that means. That means that you can't allow anything to basically run you over. You have to be able to go through the challenges, the walls, the things that's going to come up and that's going to cause you to want to quit. I'm going to tell you, I've got a story for next week and I can't wait to share it. But I'm going to tell you, being tenacious is something that we all have to have. So that's what an entrepreneur is. Number 7, entrepreneur is pragmatic. What does that mean? That means they're using logic. They always are testing. They're pursuing. They're making sure that they're not being naive. They want to always look at a situation and kind of like look at it. Well, what if it doesn't happen? What's the challenges that we're going to face? Because they want to make sure that they don't stumble. And if they do have challenges, they want to be able to get through. Number 8, entrepreneurs, they are realizing there is a logical order. There's an order to everything. That means there's a process that you must go through in order to be successful. There's a process to sell a product. There's a process to lose weight. There's a process to develop a good relationship. There's a process to have wealth, and there's a process to have better finances. There's a process to get your spiritual life in order. There's a process for everything. And so an entrepreneur realizes that they must go through the process. They must go through the order that is required that we get to there. All right, number 9, we got to keep moving. Certainty of faith. That means they are strong in their beliefs. See, a lot of times when we're not successful is because we're going back and forth or we don't believe we can do it. I know you can do it. And that's the point. If you wanted to start a business, if you're in a business today and things aren't working right, it's because you're probably not certain. I've dealt with this. You have to become certain. I had to become certain that I could turn on the microphone and constantly come to you with something that could be shared in the marketplace. Because if you're an entrepreneur, like I'm an entrepreneur, you want to know what you have to do and what characteristics you should have. All right. This is the last one. Entrepreneurs use leverage effectively. What is leverage? I remember a few years ago, I was sitting on a couch and I was thinking, man, how can I leverage time something in my business to get to the next level? My phone rang, and it was a good friend. He was sharing something with me that really changed my life, brought me to this point today. And leverage is when you realize that you don't have to do everything. You could find a system, you could find people, you could find a platform that could help you to grow exponentially. And so entrepreneurs understand this. And these were 10 characteristics of an entrepreneur, which I'll give them to you all right now. They look for opportunities, they're flexible, they're biased toward action. Marketing is the lifeblood of their business. They're living for the present, they are pragmatic, they're tenacious, realizing that there is logic in everything, certainty of faith, and they use leverage. That is an entrepreneur. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.